Pamela Anderson is speaking out about, well, pretty much everything in her life because she has this documentary that just came out yesterday on Netflix, and we've already heard her comments about Tim Allen, about Sylvester Stallone, the sex tape, a lot of it. One of the things that she hadn't discussed up to this point was the Me Too movement and why a few years ago she was basically seen as an enemy of the Me Too movement because of something she said. So she sat down with Ronan Farrow to do an interview to try and clarify, or at least Ronan Farrow thought maybe she would want to take back what she had said, which was basically, you should know better than to, summarizing what she said back in 2017, you should know better if you go into a room where there's a man in a robe.
She was clearly referring to Harvey Weinstein.
Right. You know what he wants, and if you go in there, it's on you, right. So when Ronan Farrow asked her if she regretted that, she said, I can take it even a step further. My mother would tell me, and I think this is the kind of feminism I grew up with, it takes two to tango. If someone answers the door in a hotel robe and you're going for an interview, don't go in. But if you do go in, get the job.
Now, what's unclear about that is she's saying that's what her mom taught her. What she's not clearly saying, does she still embrace that?
And I think she does, because she says, look, she also went on to say, I know that sounds horrible, but basically that's the reality.
Yeah, and she says, I had a sense of value and self-worth. So she is saying, like, she had these things and this is why she says the things that she says. So it seems more like she's just clarifying, like, what her upbringing was and why she feels the way she feels. And she does say, like, look, thank God for the Me Too movement, because now we're in, like, a more peaceful place than we were back when I was in the entertainment business. And she said that she's been around some creepy people in the past. She said, look, I've been told, like, sit on a bed. She's like, but I knew better than to be in a room with a man in a robe. So she's just clarifying why she has said why she's felt the way she's felt. But again, she did get a ton of criticism. I mean, it's kind of this phrase when you're like, oh, that girl was wearing a short skirt and that's why she was, raped or molested. It's kind of like that idea, but she's just saying, you got to look out for you.
Yeah, and I think the key words on the criticism are, it takes two to tango.
Yeah.
I think that might be where people
Because when you're dealing with a situation where it's forcible rape, as Harvey Weinstein was convicted of.
That it's very, very different.
Right.
So, I don't know. I mean, I don't think
this clarification is going to put her in better light with people on the Me Too side.
But
I don't think that this is...
When she was saying it takes two to tango, she was talking about how her mom had said that. She was specifically referring to being in a room with a man in a bathrobe that's interviewing her, right? And she says, look, it takes two to tango. If you are walking in that door, you're part of the tango. If you leave, you're cutting yourself off from this tango. I think that's what she was meaning.
Hi, Allie Jane Rosie from Laurel, Maryland. I'm on the fence with this. Obviously, on one hand, she's saying it takes two to tango. Very true. But I'm a strong supporter of the Me Too movement. And when someone's in a position of power and authority and you're going in there for a job, they were women in vulnerable states. So not too supportive. I'm glad she made a little bit of a clarification. Also glad that she's a little bit more supportive of the Me Too movement. It's like that feeling of, okay, you had this mom that gave you all this feminism advice. I understand it. However, these women were in states where clearly the male figure, let's say Harvey, was, the superior, and they were vulnerable. And I guess I'm more supportive of the Me Too movement versus her idea of the takes two to tango. That just doesn't sit with me very well.
Yeah, I do think those words raised eyebrows.
Yeah, it's a clarification, but it doesn't really change her position.
It doesn't seem to.
No.